Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Ja, I need a drink, nix 100. So gibt's ja noch gerade. Ja, wir sind hier irgendwie interessanterweise nach der Anstalt hier in der Villa wieder aufgewacht. Was zum Teufel? Also entweder, ich habe noch nicht so richtig gerafft, was er jetzt hier eigentlich macht und warum und so weiter. Wir werden es herausfinden. Und
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
Okay, dann werden wir mit denen gleich erstmal quatschen, aber wir gucken trotzdem mal hier mal rum. Weil vielleicht kann ich hier noch was Tolles finden, aber scheinbar nicht. So, gehen wir mal runter. Ja, die hat uns ja geholfen, die eine Dame und unser Inspektor. Ja. Ja, geht so, ne?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
Okay. Aus deiner Sicht. Okay, dann lass uns mit denen reden, oder? Es sei denn, es gibt hier was in der Bar. Nein, scheinbar nicht. Mädels?
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Den Dialog
Who else would
anders
it
vorstellen.
be?
Mr.
Okay.
Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Naja. Das darf ich nicht, oder was? Lass mal eben kurz gucken. Ich komme aus dem Dialog nicht raus. Was wissen wir denn eigentlich? Eigentlich wissen wir gar nichts, ne? Wir haben ja nur mit dem Typen drüben gesprochen.
Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Ja.
Of course, he's a patient. Or
Naja.
was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
Naja.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
He's right. We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance. Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Ja. Okay, die Sanders-Tante, mal gucken. Aber jetzt lassen wir mal schauen, ob wir hier noch irgendwo hin können. Weil oben war noch offen. Ich will auch vielleicht noch mal gucken, ob wir nicht irgendwas verpasst haben beim Weg durch den Gang, weil das wird ja nachher ein bisschen spooky, ne? Müssen wir rennen und so weiter. Also da geht es natürlich raus, denke ich mal. Ich gehe noch mal kurz rauf, ob man da noch mal zurück kann. Ich glaube ja nicht, ne? Okay, wir sind dann doch gleich bei den Sanders.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders? I'm a private detective. You must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well,
Ah, Cat ist
look
auch
who's
da.
here. You know each other.
We met briefly.
Absolut.
Time enough to iron out a few matters. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well,
Okay.
Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died.
Ja,
How was
aber
he?
wir mussten halt da reinschleichen.
Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
Ich lüge sie mal an, ne?
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. His own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
How did you come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater. Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and her sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye. He bought many of her works over the last 5 years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
May I ask you what Miss Baker is doing here? How do you know her?
My business with Miss Baker is private, Mr. Pierce.
Okay.
But you do know what kind of business Miss Baker is in, don't you?
I am no fool. Please believe that much at least.
Okay.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
Ja,
It
das
is
gucken wir
my
uns an.
only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be
sehr
long.
cool. Okay, dann gucken wir noch mal ein bisschen rum. Was liegt denn auf dem Tisch? Oh, jede Menge. Okay.
Did she really care for him after all?
Von Füller, okay.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Wow, Rekonstruktion jetzt hier. Okay. Dann schauen wir mal, Mucke. Flup.
A house of artists.
Absolut. Tee trinken. What's up hier? Warum kann ich das nicht machen? Ah, jetzt geht's, okay.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Wer weiß es, ne? Wenn man nicht sogar mehr.
A house of artists.
Können wir... Achso, ne, wir kommen hier nicht weiter, ne?
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Man weiß es nicht.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
Hat's halt dann bekommen, ne? Modi fand's nicht cool.
Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins? She didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated.
Warum? Was will er? Gucken wir uns das mal an. Oh.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
Ich weiß nicht, ob du das musst. Verheißt ja alles nichts Gutes, ne? Oh, cool. Kann ein bisschen spielen. Kann man später ein bisschen Mucke machen, keine Ahnung. Ich gucke mich mal trotzdem hier mal ein bisschen um. Bevor wir uns das alles da reinziehen, weil vielleicht liegen hier noch Medizinbücher und so weiter rum. Wo geht's hier hin? Abgeschlossen. Top, top, top. Auch abgeschlossen. Ja. Mucke, Bilder. Okay, so geht alles nicht. Guck nochmal hier eben. Ein paar Bücher. Sind ja alle belesen hier, die Mädels. Okay, dann gehen wir mal weiter. Achso, Moment. Da, Medizin, ne? Katsching. Ist nochmal was? Nee, das hat nur gespiegelt. Okay, gehen wir raus, ne? Gucken mal, wo das ist. Also, da waren wir eben.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Okay.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take anymore. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Man konnte da doch eben Mucke hören, oder?
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes.
Dumm. Okay, mal eben kurz gucken, ob ich das nachspielen kann.
I can't take anymore. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
Ne, das war schon richtig, ne? Keine Ahnung, vielleicht ist es auch nicht wichtig, vielleicht ist es auch kein Riddle oder sowas, keine Ahnung, aber zumindest hört sich die Mucke so an. Wer weiß, wir gucken mal weiter. Da geht es natürlich rein. Schicke Bilder hat er. Oh, okay. Das ist das Büro, wo Mutti steht, ne?
I could use one of those.
Anfallsschlaftabletten, ey. So, was lag hier noch?
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Amulett, okay. Kataching.
An old diary. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Für nothing, ey. So, wir gehen, aber wir quatschen mit der nicht. Oh, für die Galerie. Okay, ich quatsche jetzt mit der nicht. Anatomie. Kataching. Okay, also das ist der Weg zur Galerie, alles klar. Was war denn der andere Raum hier? Ist dann vielleicht auch nochmal interessant, da kurz mal, das ist die Abkürzung zur Galerie, oder was? Okay.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Another painting by Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
There's more than that, Miss Baker.
So people have been talking behind my back. I was almost beginning to like you, Mr. Pierce. But it stays cat for you.
You knew the Sanders?
Irene is a friend of mine.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
Sagt sie uns
I'm
noch
here
nicht.
on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network, and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Ansichtssache, ne? Gehen wir mal rein. Puh. Okay, verstecken oder was ist das? Ja. Ja, warum? Okay, dann gucken wir mal rum. Wir machen mal einen kleinen Rundgang. Nicht gerade klein, ne, was er so gesammelt hat. Not too bad.
The public entrance to the gallery.
Kriegt man aber nicht auf. Wow. Alter.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Okay, nicht so einfach, hier den Überblick zu behalten. Doch recht groß. Das ist das Bild, worum es geht, ne? Das gucken wir jetzt noch nicht an. Oh, sehr gut. Öl auffüllen. Kann man nicht genug. Sehr schön. Sehr nett. Okay, also es geht um das Bildchen da hinten, aber ich war jetzt hier noch nicht drin. Oder kam ich daher? Ist ein bisschen schwierig, ne? Nö.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Tja. Kann er dir jetzt erstmal nicht mehr erzählen. So, mehr Öl brauchen wir jetzt glaube ich nicht. Dann gucken wir uns das mal an, oder? Ich weiß nicht, ob ich alles angeschaut habe. Egal, wir gucken uns jetzt mal das Bildchen an. Öl haben wir genug, wer weiß, was passiert. Buh. Siehst du?
What the hell was that?
Das war der Crazy Schlurfer, mein Hase. Vielleicht können wir da oben gleich abhauen.
That thing. This painting. There has to be a link. Maybe if I destroy it.
Ah, destroy it, okay. Mit so einem Ding hier.
I could try tearing the painting with this thing.
Wow, wow, wow. Kann man den ein bisschen verarschen, mit rumlaufen. Ja, geht, ne? Was gibt's denn noch so? 1000 Dolche. Mhm. Das hat jetzt schon mal nicht geklappt.
Damn it!
Damn it! Und da kommt der Motherfucker. Was haben wir noch? Give it to me. Oh, nice. Der nächste Dolch. Die ganze Welt ausprobieren. Okay, das wird eng. Wie viele Dolche sind das? 10? Das ist auch nicht.
Damn it!
Okay, Blut ist
I
der
have
nicht.
to use a specific dagger.
Specific, okay. Irgendwelche Hinweise? Take it.
This might be able to lift the curse on the painting.
Man weiß es nicht. Du probierst einfach den ganzen Shit aus. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, es leuchtet, das ist cool. Unten zum Logo. Okay, vielleicht kann ich damit auch alle anderen killen, ich weiß es nicht. Ich weiß nicht, wo der Vogel ist, ich laufe einfach mal rum. Das Ding leuchtet auf jeden Fall. Könnte klappen. Das sieht besser aus. Ja, Vögelchen. Du hässliche Kröte. Tschüss. Ja, lass los. Robin 1. Wow. Ja. Alter.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
Sie denkt ja, dass er sich gern einen gönnt, ne?
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
Between what Irene told me and what I read in Sanders' library, I preferred to be cautious. You seem pretty keen to go it alone. At worst, you would have confirmed my fears. At best, you would have cleared the way to my merchandise. Thank you, Detective. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
Okay.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
Ja, zumindest haben wir es überlebt. Das ist schon mal nicht schlecht. Oh oh, eingebrochen, Blut, alles mögliche. Oh oh. Dass die Türen immer alle knarzen müssen, ne? Buchhandlung inspizieren. Tja. Der hat schon Feierabend gemacht. Okay, wir machen auch erstmal Feierabend. Mehr beim nächsten Mal, okay? Haben genug Monster gejagt jetzt. Ciao.